20 easy DIY pot holders and oven mitts you need in your kitchen, with free patterns, DIY and crafts. Just like closets and kitchen cabinets. You can really never have too many hot pads and oven mitts. I recently started putting together a gift basket for a housewarming that I will be attending, and I thought, you know what makes a great housewarming gift? Hot pads. So, I started looking for some simple and creative handmade hot pad and oven mitt patterns. I found 20 easy DIY pot holders and oven mitts that you need in your kitchen and in your gift baskets. These patterns are really easy to follow, and there are different types of pot holders in here, including some great crocheted versions, some quilted oven mitts, and a couple of double pads that you can wear on both hands at once. If you have ever burned a hand while taking a pan of biscuits out of the oven, you know how important those double pot holders are. And these are much easier to make than you may think. In fact, you can make an entire new collection of hot pads in just a couple of hours. Make some for yourself and keep some to give as gifts. And check out these 15 DIY outdoor kitchen plans that you can build this weekend. You could use a new hot pad in one of these as well, even if you don't spend much time at your sewing machine and don't consider yourself an expert at sewing. You can easily make these DIY pot holders and oven mitts. They're all super easy, even the crocheted versions. And the crochet patterns give you the perfect opportunity to practice your crochet stitching. Whether you need new pot holders or you want something special to give away as a gift, you are going to love these 20 DIY pot holder and oven mitt patterns. And check out these 80 sewing hacks and pro tips that will make creating those oven mitts and pot holders even easier. If you love to crochet, this hexagon pot holder pattern is for you. This one looks much more complicated to make than it actually is. You can have one finished in about an hour or so. The hexagon pattern is gorgeous, especially when you incorporate a number of different colors. I found this pattern on Etsy for just over $4, and it's a super easy one to follow. These little oven mitts look like cacti and they are simply adorable. They are also simple to make. You can have a couple of them finished in an evening. If you need new oven mitts, these are perfect. They also make wonderful gifts. If you are putting together a DIY hostess gift or a housewarming basket, add a couple of these to them. Your gift recipients will love them as much as you do. I love these little fried egg pot holders. They're just too cute, and you don't have to do any sewing at all to make them. These are made with felt. You just cut out the pattern and glue them together. You can add these to some plain pot holders to give them a great new look. Not only are they simple to make, they are the most adorable pot holders you've ever seen, and they are perfect to give out as gifts. I love Anthropology knockoffs, and these piped pot holders are among my favorites. These are so simple to make, and you won't be spending nearly $15 for just one. In fact, you can make several of these for $15. Make a few for yourself and a couple to give away as gifts. They are gorgeous and really help to protect your hands from burns when you are baking. Here is a great idea: quilted oven mitts with a lovely cloud pattern. Quilted oven mitts are great because they really keep your hands cool when you are pulling things from a hot oven. These quilted oven mitts are super easy to make even if you have never tried the quilting method. You don't necessarily have to do the clouds, though. You can choose any pattern and any material that you want. The clouds are lovely though, aren't they? These quilted hot pads couldn't possibly be any easier to make, and you don't need a lot of material or other supplies to make them. You can have a couple of these done in about an hour. Even if you don't tend to sew a lot, you just choose your material, grab some backing and quilting, and then put them all together. Do a few in different patterns to give away as gifts to your friends and family. If you are looking for something really special for your kitchen, or to give away as a gift, why not choose a homemade designer oven mitt? You make this one a designer piece by adding lace and contrasting fabric to the bottom. This is a great idea to add to gift baskets, and adding the designer touches won't take long at all. You could also just take a look at these that I found on Etsy. They're already made and just $15 each. These double pot holders are perfect for handling those hot items. Especially since these have handles or pockets where your hands go. You won't have to worry about the pot holder slipping down and causing you to burn your hands. They stay perfectly in place thanks to the pockets. These are so easy to make and will make a wonderful gift for anyone you know who loves to cook and bake. What a great way to upcycle scrap fabric. These folded star pot holders are the perfect way to use up those fat squares, and they are much easier to make than you may think. These are great if you want something with a bit more design than a normal pot holder, and you can have one finished in about an hour or so. Make several of these and use up all of your leftover fabric scraps. I love these little heart-shaped pot holders. They will look gorgeous hanging in your kitchen and really make wonderful gifts. These are pretty easy to make. Despite their shape, and they give you a great way to use up those scrap fabric pieces that you have on hand from other projects. Add a little love to your baking with these wonderful handmade heart-shaped pot holders. If you have some old fabric scraps that you just don't know what to do with, I suggest you give this simple pot holder a chance. You can make this with strips of fabric that you have left over from other projects. It's quilted too, so it's perfect for keeping the heat off of your hands when you cook and bake. These are so simple, you can have one finished in under an hour. It's a great way to upcycle leftover fabric scraps. Sometimes one regular hot pad just isn't enough. When you need something a bit bigger, check out this DIY extra large hot pad. This thing is big enough for even your largest casserole dish. You can use it to protect your hands while you are baking, and it can double as a trivet to hold that hot dish and keep your surface protected from the heat. This is a really easy one to DIY. 2. This hot pad has 2 pockets to keep your hands protected while using. One pocket holds your fingers while the other holds your thumb. That means that all of your digits are safe during the transfer of hot food dishes. Not only that, but the double pockets make it much easier to grab those hot dishes and get a good grip. No more worries of dropping that hot casserole dish when you take it out of the oven. These are really easy to make and will take you less than an hour each. If you need a great gift idea for a hostess or anyone else, this DIY oven mitt and hot pad set is perfect. You make a mitt and a hot pad, or you could make a couple of hot pads, and you can do them in coordinating or contrasting colors. If you are putting together a gift basket for a housewarming, Mother's Day, or any other special event, this handmade oven mitt set is a must to add to it. This little piggy went to the kitchen. This pig oven mitt is just too cute, and he is so easy to make. This one has pockets on both sides which give you a much better grip on your hot food dishes. I found this pattern on Etsy and it's just $5 for the downloadable pattern. This is so cute and is perfect for adding to a gift basket or for displaying in your own kitchen. These may possibly be the easiest hot pads that you can make yourself. You just need 2 squares of fabric and some batting to make each one. Even if you have barely ever used your sewing machine, you can have one of these done in about 15 minutes or less. It's really just a matter of sewing the squares together and then stuffing them with batting. How simple is that? Here is a great little hot pad with hand pockets that you can make in a jiffy. These are squared, most pocketed hot pads are round in my experience. The squared shape makes these much easier to sew, and in fact, you can have a couple of these finished in under an hour. The pockets protect your hands like oven mitts, but since they're hot pads, they make it much easier to grab those foods from the oven. You have heard of double hot pads, but have you ever seen a double oven mitt? These are great if you do a lot of baking. The double design means that you instantly have an oven mitt for both hands. If you have ever misplaced one of your oven mitts, then you know the frustration of having to search frantically for the mitt to pull your food out of the oven. Make this DIY double oven mitt and you will never have to worry about losing one of your mitts again. This is a great sewing project for beginners. Most of the pot holders that you find in department stores have a nice biased edge. These DIY pot holders also have a biased edge, and they are much easier to make than you may think. They're also much cheaper than buying those department store pot holders. You could do the biased edge in a contrasting fabric to make them really stand out. however you do them. These are great little pot holders that won't take you long at all to whip up. If you prefer crocheting to sewing, this little oven mitt is right up your alley. This one is really easy to crochet and it gives you an excellent opportunity to work on your stitches. Oven mitts don't have to look perfect. Right. You can make one of these in about an hour or so, depending on your level of crocheting skills, and they make the most gorgeous gifts for housewarmings and other special occasions. Text source: dyingcrafts.com